Live and direct. Salute to Knicks Nation on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon, at least here in New York City. I hope the weather is good where you are. CP the franchise checking in for yet another. They keep bringing me back. Knicks fan Q&A. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just about 4 days away from what I call money time. Knicks versus the Cavaliers. NBA playoffs, round one matchup. I am excited. I hope you guys are thrilled for this because this is what we've all been waiting for. We got through the 82-game season. The highs, the lows, the winning streaks, the losing streaks. Who's going to get traded? Who's going to get fired? But wait a second, the team turned it around. 37-22 since December 4th when Tibbs changed the rotation. 5th seed in the East. A top 3 offense since he made that change. So many unsung heroes for this next season. Brunson, Randall, quickly 6th man of the year outing. So many of the young players contributing. Grimes, McBride, Obi having his say in it. The Josh Hart acquisition. Isaiah Hartenstein playing and turning his season around. Excellent job by this team in the regular season to go 47-35. They've gone 10 games over what they did last year and made it to the 5th seed. Congratulations to the New York Knicks. But now it is money time, as I said. So let's come on in the room. Let's talk about it. Throw your questions in the chat. Knicks versus Cavs, game 1. Let me know what's on your mind, man. Let's talk about it. Salute to got you open in the chat. Del Dukes, Gnome 13G, how you feeling? Brad Felt says, let's go Knicks. None of your business says Knicks in 6. I like that. Salute to Lash, my cousin's in here. Salute to Fax Moolah. Zippy82, let's go. He says, we don't need that, but maybe we do. So about 4 days away from the kickoff of the playoffs, man. And there's a couple of news tidbits that have come out. Julius Randle has done some light participation in practice, according to his head coach, Tom Thibodeau. Some running, some shooting, so on and so forth, but not yet cleared for contact. Maybe that'll come during his next evaluation on Thursday. So stay tuned for that. But according to head coach Tom Thibodeau, he's making progress. So that seems like an encouraging sign for Julius Randle. And ultimately, an encouraging sign for the Knicks because they're going to need him. Jalen Brunson also spoke with the media today. Said the hand feels good. He's ready to go. No worries. No worries. And he's focused on Cleveland. He's not worried about the mess that's going on in Dallas. He said he's focused on Cleveland. RJ Barrett met with the media today. Said this is a different team than 2 years ago. How much will playoff experience factor into this thing with the Knicks? You know, Brunson's had his team in the Western Conference Finals last year. That was a good chunk of his playoff experience, although he was there with Dallas a couple years. But from Julius to Quick to RJ, this is only second dance. Obi, second dance. Mitch, this is his first. First for Josh Hart. So let's see whether they can raise their level of play in the playoffs, because that is what happens. You raise your level of play. We know Donovan Mitchell will be able to. We know that on the Cleveland side. But this is where you raise your level of play. So can they get it done? But on today's show, along with your questions, I want to talk about 3 things the Knicks must do to win this series. 3 things the Knicks must do to win this series. And number 1, ball movement. You have to move the ball against this Cleveland Cavaliers defense. This is a number 1 ranked defense in the NBA. Number 1 in opponents' points per game. Number 1 in opponents' assists per game. Number 1 in opponents' three-point attempts and 3 points made. So they get guys off of that 3-point line. You're not going to have many opportunities. They're a good team in terms of forcing turnovers. On the perimeter, they get it done with Okoro. Guys like Lamar Stevens, they have some size. They have some aggressiveness on the defense. Yes, Mitchell and Garland will do their best. And then the Twin Towers in the middle. Evan Mobley, a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Jared Allen, a force at the center position, especially defensively. Knicks are going to have their hands full. So they've got to move the ball against this Cleveland Cavaliers defense, because what this Cavs defense loves to do, especially in the half court, they are a top defense in terms of defending in the half court. Number one in opposing teams' points per 100 possessions. And they like to scramble. So every time a ball handler who's a threat to score has that ball in his hands, he's going to have attention from his primary defender. You might have a big chasing him over the top. You might have a big chasing him or a big waiting for him in the paint. And that's the flexibility that a guy like an Evan Mobley gives them, because he's not only an elite shot blocker or rim protector, but he also provides much needed versatility for this Cavs unit around the perimeter. So he covers up a lot of their mistakes. He's that safety valve or kind of that second line of defense sometimes when things break down on the perimeter. So the Knicks have got to move the ball. It is crucial. That starts with Jalen Brunson to RJ Barrett in that starting lineup. You have to love the way Quentin Grimes was able to move the ball and get the offense in a good flow to close out the season, because they're going to need him to do the same thing when the Cavaliers are attacking his closeouts, because you know they're going to try to run him off the three-point line because he's one of the hottest shooters in the NBA right now. Quentin Grimes damn near shooting 50% from three. So they are going to chase him off the line. So it's going to be imperative for Quentin Grimes to put the ball on the floor, attack the gaps, find the open man, and provide some continuity for this Knicks starting unit. They got to move the ball. Cannot stay complacent against this Cavs group, or else you're going to play right into their hands. Right into their hands. Now, the thing is that in this regular season matchup with the Cavs, the Knicks were able to shoot the three ball quite efficiently during their matchup. Damn near shot 40%, 39% from three, 48% from the field. So even though the Cavs don't give up a ton of three-point attempts, you'll have your opportunity, and this regular season, the Knicks were able to knock those down. Now, one of those games came where Julius Randle made 8 for 12 from downtown. You may not get that game, especially when he's just coming back from an ankle injury. But if the opportunities present itself, that's where you hope a Grimes can stay hot. You need Obi to stay hot quickly. We're going to need three-point shooting from him. Because you don't know what you're going to get from RJ from three, from night in and night out. Even though RJ shot the ball fairly well against the Cavs from three this season, you just don't know what you're going to get from him on a nightly basis. JP Martin says Mobley's going to be a problem, man. Big test for Randle whenever he turns. This is not John Collins. That's a fact. That is a fact. They got to move the ball on Evan Mobley, and this is the reason why you need Julius. It's not, a lot of fans have the recency bias to say, well, Obi can do it, and the team moves well, the ball moves well. You need Julius for a multitude of factors, a variety of factors. His rebounding, his rebounding prowess, his ability to be physical, in terms of getting on the boards or even attacking the basket. You need that from Julius, especially with a guy like a Mobley. You want to try to wear that guy down as the series goes on, but you just don't know what shape Julius Randle will be in. But either way, as I said, the Knicks have got to move the ball and find those windows to knock down the three. So the guards have got to stay patient with that Cavs unit, but move that ball. Make quick decisions and smart decisions. Limit your turnovers so that you don't play into their hands, because they also can thrive in transition, especially off of turnovers. So you want to be able to cut that down. Glover says playoffs is a different beast in the regular season, but we have the pedigree to beat them. I agree. This is a different team than the Knicks have had last year, 2 years ago when they went. It's a more balanced team. You have more shot creators with Brunson. Hopefully you get that with Randle. Quickly's turned into that guy. Grimes is showing some progress there. Josh Hart, when he's needed to score, when he's needed to be that one-man fast break, that bull in the china shop, he gets it done his way. And G. Oliver says our role players will be key. Yeah, I think our bench will get the best of their bench, but you got to watch out for certain guys in that Cavs unit. Number one, Chetty Osman. You have to watch him, especially from downtown. And Karis LeVert. I think Karis LeVert could be an X factor for this Cavs unit because he's a guy that can get it going in bunches. Melissa Keeler says we need to win the first game. That would be ideal. Ideally, you want to split the two games on the road. You come back to MSG tie 1-1, you feel good. Obviously, you want to be up 2-0, but at least get the split. That's what you're shooting for. So as I said, they got to move the ball. They've got to get some fluidity in their offense, keep it moving. RJ, if it ain't there, don't force it. Pass that ball, man. Keep it moving. Against a scramble defense like this, there will be opportunities. There will be gaps. There will be open guys that you can find. And also, when you play an aggressive defense like this and you catch them in a scramble, it can allow for better opportunities for offensive rebounds if their bigs are out of position and you're on a mismatch with a guard. So that is Mitchell Robinson. You got to play to your strengths. Get those offensive rebounds. Give the team a second chance. Isaiah Hartenstein, get those offensive rebounds. Give the team a second chance. Josh Hart, Quentin Grimes. The Knicks have a solid rebounding unit. Emmanuel Quickly, a good rebounder. RJ can get boards. You got to get on the offensive glass against a unit like that because you may be able to find some mismatches. You get some putbacks, or you can kick out for three, which is what Tibbs likes to do off of those offensive rebounds. So that's number one, ball movement, ball movement, ball movement. Number two, defense. Knicks defense, I know in these lackluster games these past couple of days, hasn't been the best. They've got to defend, especially at the point of attack. And when we talk about point of attack for Cleveland, we're talking about Mitchell, we're talking about Garland. That is where they do their damage. You got to keep them in front of you. You can't give them too much space, especially in the pick and roll when the big's going to a drop. Those guys will want to kill you in the mid-range, or they want to blow right past you and get into the paint. Once they get into the paint, there's all havoc there. And Cavaliers in the half court, their overall offense may not be great. It may not be high octane, but they're very efficient at the rim. They want to put pressure on the rim, and those two guys are the engines for that. And then secondarily, their bigs off the easy dump passes are able to get those at the rim as well. So it starts at the point of attack. So Jalen Brunson will have his work cut out for him. Quentin Grimes guarding Mitchell has to stay disciplined. Don't get caught with ticky-tack reaching fouls. Next thing you know, you got 2 fouls and you're out the game till late second quarter. You got to stay disciplined against Spider Mitchell. He's experienced. He's a beast. He's a superstar. You got to stay disciplined against him. HLRG says, can't let Allen and Mobley bully us. I don't think they will. I think obviously Mitch will hold his own. I like how Mitch and Hartenstein have been holding it down. I don't think that these are matchups for them to get bullied, but they've got to match the intensity and the energy of an Allen and a Mobley, especially on the road. G. Olivia says, I say let Donovan go off. Don't let anyone else get going. That's hard to do, man. Because when Donovan goes off, a lot of times those can be, he can string them together. And then sometimes those can be momentum swings or big points in the game. So you have to try to slow his rhythm down. Got to try to slow his rhythm down. And part of that defense is limiting their second chance opportunities. This is why you need Julius. You need rebounds. Julius, Mitch, Hartenstein, all those guys. You got to get on the boards against this Cavs team. You don't want to give them second chance opportunities. You don't want to give them life. So part of your defense is limiting those rebounds. And part of your defense is also limiting your turnovers. You got to take care of the ball. I believe they're number 4 in the league in opponents' turnovers per game. So the Knicks have got to, this goes back to their offense. They got to make good decisions with the ball and take care of it. Luckily for the Knicks, they've done a good job of doing that this year, especially led by Jalen Brunson. Jamie Q says Spider gets to it in the playoffs, but hasn't. Hey, every year is a different year. We know he's not the most efficient shooter in the playoffs, most notably on the road when he's on the road, but every year is a different year. And this Knicks defense, their Achilles heel is at the point of attack. We just saw it when these two teams last played, and Spider and Brunson went shot for shot. Knicks had no answer. Cartoon says, let's go, CP. We out the window, boy, representing KFTV. Let's go. Del Dukes, can't sleep on Garland. Not at all. RJ. That's going to be your guy because you have to assume that they park Brunson on Okoro. So that's going to be up to RJ to get those stops on a Garland. That's going to be tough. And that's why when it comes to defense, in crunch time, in money time, I could see the Knicks going quickly Hart on the wings, Grimes, Hart, quickly Grimes, one of those combinations. And you may even have a situation where you go offense, defense late in the game, where you're going quickly Grimes, Hart for defense in the event that the Cavs go Mitchell, Garland, LeVert. Del Dukes, we got to hit our free throws. Absolutely. Have to hit your free throws. That's one of the areas where the Knicks have been disappointing this year is hitting their free throws. You know, Quickly's missed good ones. Randall's missed. Brunson is missed in crunch time. Got to hit your free throws. Gnome 13G, defense wins games. K. Taylor, 1961, good series. I think it's going to be a good series. Definitely. I think it's definitely going to be a good series. So, moving the ball, point of attack defense, and then their three-point defense as well. You know, as I said, both of these teams are able to shoot the three ball fairly well against each other. So, for the Knicks, you got to run these guys off the three-point line as well. Don't sleep. Like I said, the Osmonds, LeVerts, you can't give those up. You can't give those up. You got to make those guys pay, man. So limit the Cavs' three-point attack. Lou Mutil says, CP, if Okoro can't shoot, he can attack the basket. Yeah, he can use his athleticism, so you cannot sleep. You cannot sleep on those effort plays. You can't sleep on those effort plays, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that fire button. Hit that fire button. I have to remember where we at right now. CP the franchise here. Salute to everybody in the Bleacher Report app. Let me salute to some other people in the chat. L. Jackson 13 says, I don't think Randall has to play great, but he's got to be who he was before he got hurt. Well, the guy he was before he got hurt was a great player for the Knicks. Barrett needs to be really good, he says, for us to have a chance. RJ definitely has to play well in his minutes, whether that's as a starter or coming off the bench, running with that second unit. He's got to find his opportunities to do what he does best, which is score at the rim. His shot might not be there from night to night, but he should be able to get to the rim and draw contact, but he's got to pick his spots because against those Twin Towers, he's not going to have many of those opportunities. Go hard for life says RJ will rise in the playoffs. Book it. Okay. I like that. He's a believer, ladies and gentlemen. He's a believer. Knicks versus Cavs, game 1 on Saturday, April 15th at 6 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be a good one. SG 9010, Knicks Nation, let's go. Yeah, Mitch is going to have to stay out of foul trouble. Grimes has to stay out of foul trouble. But you know what? The thing is that you definitely want Grimes to stay out of foul trouble because you need his offense and you need his defensive effort on Mitchell. But you have to also like the fact that there is depth there at the wing where you can just throw bodies at Mitchell defensively, whether it's Grimes, it's Quick, or Hart. Just keep that rotation going. Maybe McBride gets some action in there if Julius isn't 100%. Who knows? but you keep throwing your solid defenders, your tough defenders at Donovan Mitchell and try to slow him down. You're not going to stop him. The range is unlimited. When he's in his zone, he gets into his zone. But you got to keep it going. Power moves, his defensive rebounds and closeouts. Absolutely. Second chance points. Yep. Throw some of your keys to the game in the chat. Throw some of your keys to the game in the chat. DJ says, can Tibbs' brand of playoff basketball, can Tibbs' brand win in the playoffs? I think that'll be determined by his players, and that'll be determined by his in-game adjustments. His in-game adjustments. And time will tell. This is different than the Hawks series. I don't think there was much that Tibbs could have done to help this team win in that Hawks series. I thought they were overmatched at damn near every position, maybe except for the 4. I thought the Hawks were that good, but Tibbs' in-game adjustments will be tested. Will he look for opportunities to go small again? How much will Obi Toppin be a factor in this series? They need Obi Toppin's 3-point shooting. You want to be able to pull Mobley away from that basket as much as you can. What type of plays are they going to draw in the timeouts? One of the things the Knicks were very sketchy with this year was their ability to inbound and execute in crunch time. What type of plays is he going to draw at a timeout, at a critical timeout to stop momentum? You know, Tibbs is going to be on. He's going to be on the clock. He's going to be on the clock. So ball movement, defense, for sure. Now, the final thing the Knicks need to do is they need their stars to play well. That's is as obvious as it sounds. Those are your keys, man. And it starts with Brunson, number 11. Yes, we saw his 48-point outburst against this Cavs team in a critical Knicks win on the road. But that was also without Isaac Okoro. And you watch some of these games where Brunson went up against Okoro, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Okoro is a pest on the defensive end. We'll see how healthy he is because I believe he's battling a knee injury or a lower extremity injury. You got to double check that. But Okoro is not going to make it easy on Jalen Brunson. You can bet that. And again, the way that these Cavs defend, if it's not Okoro, then it's Mobley and Allen waiting for you in the paint. So that's going to be an interesting matchup. How will he be able to shake Okoro? And what will the Knicks do to allow Brunson to be at his best? Because this Cavs team is going to do their best to take the ball out of his hands. They're going to do their best to take the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hands. And so after that, if Julius isn't at 100%, who is going to be the next guy to step up to make plays and make shots under pressure? This is where I look to Emmanuel Quickley next to get the job done. And that's why I think Quickley is going to log a lot of clutch minutes in this game. Because against a defense like this, you're going to need another facilitator, another playmaker, another shot maker next to Brunson. And so I think Quickley's going to have a big, big role there. So I'm interested in seeing how Brunson goes up against this Cavs defense at full strength and how what the supporting cast will do to help him. Because the Cavs are going to make everybody else beat them but Jalen Brunson. They just saw that 48-point game is on film. The 48-point game is on film. What did JB Bickerstaff said to the media? He said that game Jalen Brunson had put us on high alert. I think that's a good thing for us to have that appropriate fear of your opponent. So they're going to be keying in on him. And we'll see how the Knicks adjust. Secondly, as we mentioned, the health of Julius Randle. If Denise T 2001 says, how do you get Obi more than 12 minutes? Depends on how Julius looks. How conditioned will he be? Will he be ready to go? How does he feel? How does the foot feel? How is he shooting? How is he performing? How is he defending? That's on Tibbs. That goes back to DJ's questions about Tibbs. Will Tibbs make that move and put Obi out there? We'll have to wait and see. But Obi, no question, is going to be pivotal here if Julius isn't 100%. You need his shooting. You hope that he remains aggressive as he's done in these games where Julius hasn't played. Obi's got to be aggressive. You can't just be waiting there for your three-point shots. You got to put the ball on the floor, bend this defense, and make plays. Make plays. So Julius's health is going to be critical for the Knicks' success. And as I said earlier in the broadcast, he has to take on Mobley, get physical with him, get on the boards, attack the glass, make these guys pay. Don't let them get into a groove. You don't want to let Mobley get into a groove defensively. Go right at him. And that's why you need Julius, because he's more aggressive in trying to get his than a guy like Obi. L. Jackson 13 says, that's why RJ Grimes and others got to step up. Yeah, they're going to be tested. They're going to be tested. Fax Muller, salute. Star J. Barrett, 9, says, preach CP, salute. Alon Mutil says, CP, both the Knicks and the Cavs didn't play each other at full strength in the 4 regular season games. Yeah, you had a game where Mitch was out in one of the Knicks wins. You had the last game where Julius was out. You had a game with Noah Okoro, so neither team was exactly at full strength. But the trends remain. You know, that Cavs defense is still what it is. Brunson's still a beast. And that Knick bench was pretty much intact. You know, Hart came a little bit after those first 2 games, so Hart played the final 2 games. Jackman6 says, do you think Grimes is underrated or perfectly rated? I think he is what he is right now. A high floor 3-and-D player with playmaking upside. And I think he's growing into his own. It's year 2. Seems to have gotten into a nice groove. Obviously, his three-point shooting is a must in terms of consistency and efficiency. And if he can keep that up, he'll never be out of work in this game. Jamar 3J8821 says, if we play physical, we will tire them out by game 3. So since you're putting it out there, everybody in the chat, give me your series prediction. What do you guys think, man? A lot of you guys have been following me around on youtube.com/KnicksFanTV. I've heard my predictions multiple times. I'm saying Knicks in 6. I'm going with it. Knicks in 6. What do you guys think in the chat, man? Put your predictions in the chat. Remember that I will be here each and every Tuesday this month breaking down this playoff series. Can't wait for the next one, because by the time we meet again, it will be game 2. We'll have gotten through game 1, and we'll look to see what adjustments we need to make to either get back into the series or continue on with our winning ways, man. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Let me read some of these predictions. Boom Roasted 87 says Knicks in 6. V3 Triple X, Knicks in 6. Okay. And Alum Mutil, Knicks in 7. Okay, Knicks in 6. T Valentine 23 says Knicks in 7. Okay, Knicks in 6. Jackman 6. Power Move says Knicks in 5. Star J Barrett says Knicks in 4. Just like I said last week, I don't care. He's going for a sweep. He's bringing the brooms out. Thomas Hoskins says, I think this series 1,000% goes 7. Okay. I think it's an evenly matched 2 teams. 2 teams are evenly matched. The same number you see on your shoulders, number 6, no doubt. L. Jackson 13 says Knicks steal game 1 and win in 6. All right. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, guys. So that's the situation with me. You guys know where to find me, man. YouTube.com/KnicksFanTV. Will be live after every game, breaking it all down, post-game coverage, caller reactions from the beautiful Knicks fans all over the world. YouTube.com/KnicksFanTV. You can also catch us on social media platforms at KnicksFanTV and catch me on those same platforms at CP The Franchise. Knicks Nation, we are back in the playoffs. Let's get it going. I will see you guys next week. Peace.